Have you ever noticed or gone through a time when you see certain things popping up in your life over and over again and you catch yourself saying, wow, what a coincidence, only to find that it happens like again and again? Like it could be any number of things, like repeating numbers, for example, or you keep seeing the same out of the ordinary thing over and over again, and you don't really know, how to explain it. So you chalk it up to it simply being a coincidence. However, what if it wasn't a coincidence at all? And it was actually like the world around you telling you something that's very specific to you. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how maybe these so-called coincidences really could be something very specific to you. So, hi guys, my name is Susan, and on this channel I talk about awakening your real beauty and stepping into the starring role of your own life. So if you're a woman and you're interested in things like personal development and self-care and becoming the best version of yourself, then you might want to stick around and subscribe to this channel. Now I also want to give a shout out and thank to you, every single one of you who have got me to over 100 subscribers. I really love and appreciate each one of you so much. So thank you again. So anyway, the famous psychologist Carl Jung, he called these so-called coincidences synchronicities. Now I want to give you an example of one that's recently been happening in my life. So last week, my husband and I and my little dog Magic, he's over there somewhere, we were all getting into the car to go for our evening walk and at the park, and while I'm getting in the car, I see all these like dragonflies hovering over our front lawn, and I thought, wow, that's really unusual. So I remarked kind of offhandedly, hey honey, look at all those dragonflies. Now I didn't think anything of it too much. I did write it down in my journal, but the next morning I started listening to the latest YouTube video of another YouTuber who I often listen to, and they started talking about dragonflies, which was not normally a subject that they brought up, but I still didn't think that much of it until I went to the beach a day or so later, and I was like swimming around in the ocean by myself, and then a dragonfly literally starts hovering all around me right in the middle of the ocean, and I thought to myself, like, what the heck is a dragonfly doing out here? So at that point I thought, maybe there's something more going on, with this. So I sat down on the beach, I opened up my phone, and literally a friend of mine had just got back from Costa Rica, and she posted a picture of a beautiful dragonfly that she saw there. So I was like, wow. The next day, I clicked on another YouTube video just randomly of someone I've never watched before, and there she is, she's wearing a dragonfly necklace. Then later on that day, I go to have coffee with a friend at Panera Bread, and on the chalkboard, lo and behold, what's drawn there but a dragonfly. Now you might all think this is simply a coincidence, and maybe you're right. However, I kind of had an inkling of what this was all about. Transformation. So it was time for me to step out of the old way of seeing myself and step into this whole new reality. Now a dragonfly lives its entire life underwater until one day, just out the blue, it decides to crawl up out the water, attach itself onto a reed and grow wings, take flight, and it becomes a whole new being. It literally changes its entire reality. So getting back to Carl Jung, he said that synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. Now, I'm not saying that everything in life is a sign or a synchronicity. So let's not jump off the deep end and think everything is saying something that it isn't. However, I would like to give you some pointers here to think about if you're having lots of so-called coincidences in your life. So first of all, if you're seeing things over and over again, just take notice of it, simply be aware. And when synchronicities start showing up in your life, it's like they can speak to your heart, they're tugging a place deep within you that's already been stirring. Now, when these happen, it's like a sign that something important's going on in your life, or something that you need to figure out. And we don't just throw logic out the window, we use our head and our heart to figure out the deeper meaning. And it can be quite exciting actually, thinking that life is far from being ordinary, because each one of us, I truly believe we are the stars in our own movie called life, and we can script anything you want. Okay, so realize that every action that you take, every choice that you make is shaping your life. And when synchronicities start happening in your life, only you are going to know what it means. So it's important to start listening to your intuition and act on it. Now, years ago, my husband was at a clothing store where he met a woman who was wearing an unusual pin, or like a brooch as we say in England, and it kind of stuck out to him. And so he made a comment about it. and the woman invited him to a college group, which is about half an hour away from where he was living. Now, he had been stationed for the past 2 years in England in the Air Force, and while he was there, he kind of felt sure that he was going to marry someone who was in England. And at the time, he was dating an American girl who was, also in England at that time. However, they broke up. Now, when he came to the college group, he was amazed to find an English girl there. It was me. And I had been in England pretty much the whole time they'd been stationed in the Air Force, but we met in Las Vegas, of all places. So needless to say, pay attention to things that stand out to you. Like maybe watching this video right now is a synchronicity in your life, or it could just be a coincidence. Anyway, I encourage you to trust your instincts, as they can lead you to extraordinary opportunities and connections with others. So how do you notice synchronicities? So first of all, try to stay more present to the present moment. Now, I know this can be easier said than done, as we're living in a world that has so many distractions around us. But just by spending a few times each day meditating and observing your thoughts, it can really help slow down your mind so you are more aware. Secondly, I encourage you to really keep a journal. I've kept a journal for many years now, and I write down things each morning from the day before, and then I scrutinize it. So when you do this, many times you can start to see a pattern in your life, and it's amazing all the insights that you can get from journaling. Like looking back on your journal, you can see how the events and choices that you have made brought you to where you are right now. Just like the example of the dragonflies, it kind of struck me as unusual when I first saw them in our front garden, so I wrote it down. And as they kept showing up more and more in my life, I realized that the message they were all trying to tell me, that it was time to step into a whole new reality and not be afraid of letting go and embracing the new. So finally, once again, only you are going to be able to figure out what they mean. Many times they'll have a symbolic meaning. For example, it's pretty obvious that a dragonfly goes through a transformation before it becomes a dragonfly. And I had actually reached out to a friend when all this was happening and asked if they had any insight on dragonflies. And I got a text back saying, transformation long overdue. And I knew that. I knew that it was totally about myself. So, however, if you're having difficulty figuring out the meaning of something, you can just put it on the back burner for now. And at the right time, if it's important, it's going to be revealed to you. Now, a quote that I love is, I think it's by Rumi. It says, what you are seeking is seeking you. So if you stumbled across my channel, it could be very well that you, like me, you're tired of sitting on the sidelines of your life and you want to step into the starring role. We have been given this beautiful life, and every day is a gift to live to the fullest. So if you have been looking for permission to become the woman of your dreams, this is your sign. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I want you to remember that the power to transform your life is already within you. Until the next time, bye for now.